All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. Let's try to smooth out those rough roads. I'm going to shut the shades here so they can't stare at me through their camera. Well, they have an orgy. They have an orgy over it. Nah, I kind of wish it was last night. I was getting that sleep I got last night. Boy, that was beautiful. I could have had a great life and a great health. I just refused it. They're animals, every last one of them. Now, as soon as I walked outside into the cold air, that little tingle started. So, not I don't think that would say that it's a disc. I would say it's muscular, generally. When he's massaging me, I don't have any real pains. I mean, when he gets down to the sciatic nerve on the left side, yeah, that's one of the bad. And he did the right side. Like there was this knot in my sciatic nerve left and right, and he just went me or the muscle around it, and he rocked it back and forth so he could minimize it. Well, when I was in Naples, it hadn't taken yet. When I left, I was in such pain. They gave me I took a budget rental truck and I had a stick shift. I had to turn, I got up to like, I don't even know, like Orlando or something. And I had to turn around, or not Orlando, Tampa, or just short of it. I can't remember, Bradensburg, whatever. I had to turn around to return the truck in. Mm. I think I ended up going to rent something else because the way they had to close, like they were going to exchange it. But when I was pulling out of my mom's place in Naples, I hit the gutter. And I'm like, I reported it, and he had to actually use the insurance. So he says, we can't exchange. So he closed it out. I didn't owe him anything, I guess. And I moved on to Hertz or something like that, I think. Or Penske, I mean. I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And then I was in so much pain, even driving that truck. I got to Jackson, and I tried to put a smile on my face everywhere I went. I was in so much pain. I just felt so. It felt so good to be in Jackson, Mississippi. Seemed like nice people. I wish I kind of stayed at this point. Right. And thank you, Mary. I, you know, I it was it was probably a lot of inflammation because the further I got from the water, the better I felt. At a certain point, I got this thought again. Back then, I wasn't thinking the way I do now that it's all a sham, you know. But I got this thought: go north. So at a certain point, I drove north and then west instead of following the original plan, which was to go along the coastline. So I went north, and it was drier, and I felt healthier. A little bit of the inflammation went, but I got to Espanola. Well, actually, I got to Santa Fe. I went to lunch in like this spiritual kind of Eastern spiritual cafe they have there. And somebody comes in, it's a woman. And I just said hey to her, and that's it. I mean, I'm not like trying to hit on her or nothing. And she came over sitting near me, and so I was just making small talk. And then she got so rude. She's like, no, 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 this is not going to happen. And I'm thinking this is an FBI agent or DHS or something. This is uncalled for. They're already trying to intercept me and ruin my life and ruin my outlook in reference to women. That's who I'm sure it was. So then I went on to Espanola. I was renting from this guy, and the room was great, but what he had was called a swamp cooler. And what a swamp cooler is what? Humidity. And I'm aching. I don't know if it's mold. I don't know if it's inflammation. It's probably all of the above. I said, I'm not staying any place with anything called a swamp cooler. I just left Florida. Right. So I told him, look, I wanted to stay, but I can't. My health doesn't allow me to. I said, since I met this guy, like almost instantly, he had like a little apartment over a garage. Again, if they didn't interfere in my life, it was just such a nice little place. Right. And, it's just a good place to be. And, right. And over time, the inflammation just kind of ebbed away. It was just like wonderful. I was actually, pushing myself to help them in the kitchen and everything. So that was like my physical therapy was working in a spiritual kitchen and doing charity work, cooking and cleaning and all of that. That was my physical therapy. But this guy was like a construction dude, and he had split from his wife, and his wife lived in the main house. Last time I saw her, she was acting weird, but it was like I was shopping somewhere, and she was like, I think it was a role play thing, trying to set me up. That was after I'd split. I just ignore them when they came around me. They knew it was up. They tried to play something else. Right. So they were trying to just, try to indoctrinate me like a cult, but it's not necessarily their cult. It's the government cult that they're part of. So they were going to try to, it's your fault. Everything that's happening is your fault. The deep state shtick. It's so funny because they were liberal, but they're not really liberals. You know what I mean? It's just their little bullshit. What is this? I don't know what this USB thing's. USB power adapter. I tried to just be humble with them and ignore everything. Everybody was doing wacko stuff around me. And then they were acting like I was trying to hit on their women and stuff. It's like bullshit. I could have married that black woman in a second, but the Lord didn't say to, so I didn't. Right. She came from Philadelphia. She was there, and they were like dissing her. Right. Yeah. She ended up back in Philadelphia. Yeah, because they're not really a charity. They're an NGO. Right. Selective who joins the sex cult, I guess. They don't want me around a sex cult, believe me. See, that's probably why they were doing that allegation to say, well, if you don't say nothing, we won't say anything. But I don't say anything. I just try to mind my business and do the charity work. But they wouldn't let me be. You just have to let me be. Right. I believe I was drugged anyway while I was there. It's the same time that Sheriff, what was that guy's name from New Mexico? Rodello had the problem, and that fire chief, the Native American fire chief, had that issue. They had a Native American fire chief come to work with his flak vest and an AR-15 and helmet on, I think it was. And they said, "Oh, you're gonna it's about time that your physician's been you've been relieved of duty." But at the same time, Rodello had that problem also. Rodello ain't going to tell you anything what you want to hear. He wants to wire back in the system and live the rest of his life. I mean, Rodello had a pretty good life. Most people, God told me, most people who go to prison have a better life than me. They'll get their health care. They'll get their dentistry. Everything will just happen like they're out on the street, or better. These people are going to fight your health care. They're going to fight your dentistry. Thanks, Larry. Now I can feel that my legs are got something going on right now. It's causing some of the disruption. It might just be, getting that lumbar under control. Well, I'm not sure if the military flights actually cost what they're saying to begin with. And then, well, does that include like military personnel pay? Because we're paying them anyway, whether they're flying that or not. So that should be included. So the pilot pay or whatever that is, that's not, and the crew, that's not to be counted to begin with, because they may be trying to, count those hours in that pay. Then I don't, you don't know, is it really cost that? Cost overrun and all that, being BS sometimes. No, I guess a lot of civilian aircraft is used for other type of duty, so they may not want to use that. But you have the Civil Air Patrol or Civil Airlines, I guess. Civil transportation. So there's a contract, some sort of contract that you can. I don't think they have I think they have an obligation to honor the contract because it's military. Now you got to make sure you take care of their equipment. I felt good last night. I was even out in the storm and all that with the icicles coming down. And then I dropped my wallet when I left. When I left massage, but it was right next to where my door was, and I didn't. It actually, something told me it was there. It was like a spiritual thing. So when I pulled up, I knew exactly where my wallet would be found. So I pulled up this one spot, and there it was. So I had to go back, and I went through a whole bunch of rigmarole. I'm like addicted to those straws, those veggie straws, but I was able to kick the habit today. I almost ordered them again. This is a nice electrolyte drink. I've been looking for this for a while. It actually uses Himalayan pink salt too, but it actually has less sodium than it does, because the other ones have more sodium than they do potassium. This darn thing has 290 milligrams of potassium chloride and 350 milligrams of potassium chloride and potassium citrate. A bunch of other stuff with B vitamins, vitamin C. Great. It's not heavy on my citric acid. It's a nice fruit, tropical fruit flavor. It doesn't taste like tropical high C or anything like that. It actually tastes like real tropical fruit flavor. It did a great job. 3 times the electrolytes of versus leading sports drinks, and 10 times less sugar than those drinks. That's great stuff. Amazing electrolytes. That's what I've been looking for. Glad to find that today. Now you have to understand, while you're all living life, I'm just being tortured all day long for decades. There's no life. It's amazing that I have the outlook I have. Yeah, what happened in Amarillo is I couldn't get in Tyler. I couldn't get released. I knew it had to happen. And I thought it was going to happen. It never happened. I couldn't get fully released, which is what I needed, and then I could assess it. And then I couldn't. I mean, they just kept on me, on me, on me. I mean, Aurora hit me pretty hard, so that's why you're finding all the bullshit in Aurora. They're corrupt. Right. So what I got to do is take this pillow off, and I got to find my neck roll. See if that works. Guess I'll meet my father in the afterlife, like my Earth father. I really didn't know him that much. Died when I was young. That's a little bit high, but that's a leg roll. That's not a neck roll. I had one that was half the size, but I don't see it. It was like a half roll, real short. I'm gonna have to order another. Use a towel now. Now I just wanted a peaceful life. I just wanted a life, to overcome all the BS that happened in the first half of my life, kind of deal, right? Or even more than half. I don't know what I'm gonna pass, but I could have lived to like 90 years old if they hadn't done, maybe even older, had they not done this to me. A good life too. They're sick. All you had to do was let me be, and I would have corrected everything that was wrong in the world and in my life. No, I just hope to get my health back so I can finish all these projects. Well, now that I'm not leaving Kansas. Careful what you wish for. You might get it. There's no reason I spent first 2 years here being tortured. I mean, that's sicko shit. I had a hat. Where did that thing? I know I have it. I just don't know where it is. I have my full yoga roll, which I could use under my legs. It may be too big. I don't know. It was for massage, a massage bolster. I hate to spend my money, but like I said, I have to use this money on things. Believe me, I have to keep the broadcast going. Just not sure what to use at this point. No, it was so nice to come home last night and just lay on the couch and sleep for a little bit, and then I came into the bedroom and pulled the memory foam topper off, and it was a firm, because I was looking at air mattresses, and finally the thing said, you bought a mattress, and it's firm. So I pull the thing off, and oh, okay. Nah, like everybody I'm meeting now, I needed to meet 4 years ago. Right, and then I've been out of my mess. I think Kansas City was one of the places that I was trying to go to, but who knows where I would have landed. I don't know if it would have been here. Now I need money to hire a massage therapist, like at least once a week, if not twice a week, until I get out of this mess if I can. Well, right now it doesn't feel too bad, and I know my right side's still more cramped than it should be. I finally got that left side of release. Geez, I wish I could have known what to do to, and I can't remember. Did I ever isolate it before that it was the neck? I don't think I did. I knew the neck was playing in, but I still thought it was something in the back cramping up, which it was. But what was causing it is the neck was pulling. It's kind of scary, but nah, I've had this. I just, they just won't let you have, like, some people don't know to go to healthcare. I can't get to it. So again, a lot of people don't know they're being blocked from it. But again, when they do that, you can't get to it. Oh, I got looking for the bolster, or not the bolster, the half bolster right there. No, they're blocking me, and I can't get to it. Again, if I had family here, or I had a real friend, that person would have drove me to get my shots and all that. All I had to do is get out of the vehicle and get inside, instead of having to drive and plan the whole trip myself. Now, I'm ordering in food because I'm not well, but it's part of the plan. Hashem says spend the money and they'll pay you back. Hashem being God thinks that the system's starting to wake up, which means it may try to take these people out. I can't believe I can't find that half bolster. It's probably in some. I could have swore I brought everything up into the house. I guess it could be anywhere. It's probably in my storage. Let me turn this up. It's a little too cool. It's so weird because I use the. Oh wait, I'm almost out of power here. Let me switch phones. Well, say peace, praise God, and all that you do, praise God.